Stand by. I'm routing comm traffic through our mid-rim outposts. You're on a 6-second delay until I resynchronize the data stream. 3, 2, 1. Synced and secured. Tracking systems show you're in the castle lands of Alderaan. Enjoy the view, Cypher. I hear the mountains are lovely.
After the last few worlds, I'll be sure to appreciate it.
It'll keep you sane. Alderaan is governed by the wealthiest noble families in the galaxy. They've feuded for centuries, and are presently engaged in a full-scale war. You're here because Imperial intelligence believes that one of the noble houses, or a noble within one of the houses, is financing the Eagle's terror network.
What sort of financing are we talking about?
Money for weapons, transportation, bribes, anything the cells need. The Empire's resources are tied up supporting House Thul's efforts to claim the throne. But intelligence does have one asset, Vector Hillis. Vector was an Imperial ambassador to the nobles, but he was later repurposed. Now he's with the Killiks, Alderaan's native alien species.
Why are you being cagey, Watcher 2?
Apologies. Vector's is an unusual case, and I should explain. When Vector approached the Killiks on a mission of diplomacy, they absorbed him into their collective intelligence. He's part of their hive mind. However, he continues to file activity reports, and we believe he's still loyal to the Empire, even if he's barely human anymore.
How's that possible?
Prolonged exposure to the Killiks induces physiological changes. He shares thoughts, feelings with them, but we don't know much more. We've requisitioned Vector from the diplomatic service and given him a need-to-know overview. You'll rendezvous at these coordinates. Use him to eliminate any noble or house funding the terrorists. Watcher 2 out.
Yes, this is the one, as the song schedule determined.
I can't wait to see how this goes.
We are Vector Hillis, Dawn Herald of the Ouroboros Nest. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Agent.
Cypher 9. I'm with Imperial Intelligence.
Of course. We trust our appearance doesn't disturb you. Our superiors in the diplomatic service find our joining disconcerting, but it was necessary. The joining allowed us to share thoughts and senses with the Nest, forge a bond between Empire and Killiks. The change is a small price.
Changed or not, you clean up well.
You're very kind. We'd rub forearms, but it might not translate. Yes, as to your target, Imperial Intelligence provided us with a list of names, dates, and locations connected to your terrorist financier.
Do you have an ID on the target?
We can't identify the financier himself, but your information shows he's visited House Organa, House Ceres, House Pantier, and House Cortez. Cortez is a vassal of the Empire's proxy, House Thul. If you show the Cortez Baron a copy of our findings, he might close in on your foe.
If I can manipulate a hut, I can handle a Baron.
A hut? Indeed. We must proceed to the Dance of Unlighting, but we'll remain here for the duration of your mission. We suggest you present yourself to Cortez as an ally of the Empire, show strength, and don't mention your intelligence connections.
Hold your guard. In the name of Baron Payar Cortez and the Cortez Barony, I demand you state your business or face expulsion.
How dare you speak this way to me? I am a Countess of House Thul.
Indeed. Forgive me, Your Highness, if I'd known you were coming.
I knew nothing of Thul emissaries either, Captain. I am Baroness Che Cortez, Your Highness. Forgive our inhospitality, but my husband has no time for visitors.
I believe he'll want to speak to me. It's a matter of life and death.
Aren't they all, though? Some days ago, we lost a squad of battle droids patrolling the borders of Cortez lands. That squad was our first line of defense. We believe the squad's disappearance may presage an attack, yet not one of our allies has come to our aid.
That explains a great deal. You have my sympathies, Baroness.
I'm not looking for sympathy. We don't know what destroyed our droids. They went silent. Until we find out, we must prepare for the worst. If you wish to make amends, send your troops to determine the fate of our patrol. Perhaps that will make my Baron smile again.
We'll do everything possible to make this right.
I'll leave you to Captain Perovius. I hope to see you under better circumstances.
Your Highness, If your men find the droids, tell them to activate the squad's homing beacon. Perhaps the data logs will help us.
This is Captain Perovius. A pleasure to hear from you, Your Highness. I'm impressed that you conducted the search personally. We're receiving the droid's logs now. You have my thanks.
No thanks are necessary. It was my privilege.
I would have lost men conducting the search. You saved lives today. At any rate, these logs are discouraging. The droid skirmish with the Killiks. Blasted bugs are on Cortez lands again.
I ran into a few more on my way here.
Figures as much. Rumor has it that the Killik nest is growing. Probably scouting for a new home. I'll make sure the Baron knows. Those things won't build a new hive in Cortez territory. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure the Killiks will get your message.
Indeed. In the meantime, I have a message for you. The Baroness is offering you an invitation to the estate. You may return at your leisure.
The Baron is expecting you. This way, please.
Our guest has arrived, my lord.
Baron Payar Cortez, Sword of the Castle Lands. I hereby present to you the Honorable Countess Thule, emissary of her house. This woman risked herself in the service of House Cortez, valiantly recovering our lost patrol and identifying the Killik threat. In appreciation of her noble deeds, and out of respect for her accomplishments, I ask that you grant her recognition.
I so grant her recognition. I am Baron Payar Cortez, my lady. Welcome to my home.
The pleasure is mine, Baron.
Then we are both fortunate.
I hope I didn't give the wrong impression at the gates. I just take the security of my house very seriously.
One of few things she does, along with her gardens and her ack dogs.
You'll make me blush, my lord.
Tell me now, why do you seek my house? Is there a favor you would ask? An alliance you'd propose?
I'm trying to identify a visitor to House Cortez. I know when he was here, but not his name or face.
I'll gladly help. Show me what you have. The dates in your files. Yes, we've had visitors at these times, but that's no surprise. I believe the guest you're looking for is Master Denry Ale. We've hosted him and his summits on a number of occasions.
Tell me where to find this man.
Ah, well, it may not be so easy as that. Denry Ale was once Lord Denry Ale, a powerful and respected man among the vassal houses. But some years ago, he abdicated his position.
He became a mediator dedicated to forging peace.
Strange you should ask about him now. For several weeks, Denry Ale has been missing. Whether off on some secret negotiation or something more regrettable, no one knows.
Isn't anyone trying to find him?
Not that I'm aware of. One missing man in all this chaos. But it bears investigation. I'll begin looking into Ale's whereabouts through formal and informal diplomatic channels. If I can find him for you, I will. You may also wish to investigate the matter yourself. I'm sure House Thule has friends who can assist.
I appreciate your efforts, Baron.
In the meantime, you're welcome to stay as a guest. House Cortez prides itself on its hospitality.
We'll have to dine together. You can meet the ack dogs.
The Baron has spoken. This audience is at an end.
Is it me, or are there more bugs than last time?
Welcome back. Your aura reflects your attunement to the great song.
Vector, good to see you again, too.
Our observers saw you enter the Cortez estate. The Fingerlings were listening and heard mention of Denry Ale. We met Ale during our time as ambassador. With his wealth and talent, he could be your target.
The Baron claims not to know his whereabouts.
We might be able to help. Our nest has had many joiners over the years, soldiers, children, nobles. We can search their memories and see what they know of Denry Ale.
Are all these people in the nest like you?
As Dawn Herald and emissary to the Empire, we retain more independence. But we're all joiners. We remember Pabal Alder. When her speeder crashed, our foragers brought her to the hive. Our healers tended her. We became one. Her house, House Alder, an old house of scholars and antiquarians, granted Ale residence in honor of his work as a mediator. Ale kept records of his work in the Alder estate. If you can penetrate the estate's defenses, those records are yours.
Good work. I'll have those records in no time.
If we may be so bold. A warning. House Alder opposes the Empire, and the estate is always prepared for an Imperial attack, even a stealthy one. Be careful. Agent, it's good to see you. Yes, we apologize. The nest has been invigorated by star dancing. If you could smell the pheromones, you'd understand our restlessness.
This restlessness, is it going to be a problem?
There's nothing to be concerned about. The hive is growing, and we all benefit. We even have a gift for you. These orbs contain white membrosia, rare nectar produced by our givers. Pull back the wax and sip. You'll find it gives strength and healing.
Practical, but exotic. I like it.
We hoped you might. In any case, how's the search for Denry Ale?
Take a look at these files. What do you think?
This is perplexing. It looks like Ale funded the destruction of the Dominator and the assassination of Darth Jadus. But the rest is very odd. Have you shown this to Baron Payar?
I was hoping I wouldn't need to.
Baron Payar may see nuances we don't. We've mentioned our difficulty with human personalities. We'll be on alert, should you need anything else. The nest embraces our unity.
Welcome back. I'll let the Baron know you're here.
My dear, you shouldn't concern yourself with trifling details.
I am concerned. This house needs all I can give, not just my gardening skills.
Enough, we'll speak later. Your Highness, it's a pleasure to see you on such a chilly day. But if you're here about Denry Ale, I must disappoint. I've been gathering information, yet I cannot locate him with any certainty.
This data from House Alder might help.
These records, they are the pieces of a puzzle my own sources left incomplete. It appears that some weeks ago, Master Ale arranged a secret meeting with House Rist. That meeting is doubtless occurring as we speak.
Ale's not meeting with anyone. He's hiding.
I defer to your judgment. Still, be cautious. House Rist is a stain upon the nobility. A house of slayers and poisoners. I suggest you wait for Denry Ale's return. A month, perhaps 2. Don't earn the Rist assassins' ire by interfering in their affairs.
Unfortunately, my mission is urgent.
I admire your energy, but these games should be played with caution. Confronting Rist will do no good. Now, I must cut this discussion short. I have other matters to attend to. See to our guest, my lady. Make certain Cortez hospitality remains second to none.
I'm sorry about my husband. He's a busy man, and a brave one. Just not brave enough to confront the House Rist.
Care to explain that?
Everything the Baron said about Rist is true. They are a stain on society, and a foe of Cortez. When I was a child, Rist assassins poisoned my father and slit my brother's throat. Justice was never done.
If Rist is so abhorrent, why let them continue?
The Baron won't listen to my ideas. But you could show him the meaning of bravery. You could show all the houses that defying Rist isn't hopeless. Find Denry Ale, fight the assassins, and go with all our hopes.
I don't like assassins. I'll make sure they remember my visit.
You gladden my heart. I'll leave you alone. I'd warn you to be careful, but I know you will be.
Ah! I was starting to wonder if we'd meet face to face. Welcome to House Rist. My name is Denry Ale, but of course you know that, and so much more, after stealing my records.
A pleasure to meet you, Master Ale.
Oh, and you. I hear you've been looking for me for some time, Your Highness. You claim allegiance to House Thule. Not that it matters. When we heard you were on your way, I arranged for my friends, at considerable expense, to prepare a traditional Rist welcome.
Why don't I show you a traditional Imperial welcome instead?
And I'll show you how to die! You worthless filth! You may have killed me, but you can't take away what I've achieved. I worked for peace on Alderaan. I showed the houses how to settle their differences. What have you ever done for decent men?
I'll ask the questions here.
a little late for that.
Master Ale, I'm sorry to disturb, but this message must reach you in time. The situation's grown worse. The thorn in my side knows you're visiting House Rist, and I believe she'll soon give chase. She's dangerous, Denry. She's in league with my husband, and somehow gained access to your personal journals. You're going to need protection. I know the Rists aren't committed to working for us yet, but I hope you can convince them to help you. I'm sure you can sway them somehow. You've a way with words.
Halt! Leave Cortez lands immediately, or be forcibly expelled.
Let me guess. Baroness Che doesn't like me anymore.
The Baroness has revoked your access to the estate. She's ordered all defenses raised. You may as well turn around. We've got blast doors, force fields. This estate is designed to repel an army.
An army? Maybe I'll have to break a sweat.
You want to play it that way? That's how we'll play it. All droids, attack now!
Fun. We don't think blasters are going to get us through here, Agent. Maybe we should talk to your bug boy.
Agent, come inside. The nest is prepared to defend you.
Yeah, that's what you need these bugs for. Defending us.
Our observers saw what happened. Why did Cortez turn on you? How can we help?
Turns out the Baroness is working with the terrorists.
The Baroness? This is unexpected. The Nest has studied the Cortez estate's defenses and deemed them formidable. The interior shields are designed for squads of human attackers. The perimeter security systems are meant to combat armies and Killik swarms.
Can we disable the shield somehow?
The power generators are behind the main estate. They're well guarded, but they might be sabotaged from the inside. If I could reach the generators, I could release a swarm of fingerling Killiks. Our smallest brethren can easily slip through the cracks and damage the machinery.
You've got miniature saboteur bugs.
Yes, there are times when smaller bodies prove useful.
If you two are taking out the shield generators, I'll keep the Cortez patrols busy. Maybe poach something nice.
You planning to steal the Baron's prize, Thrantis?
What? We've got room on the ship.
Each of us can carry a handful of fingerling eggs. Once our young destroy the shield generator, we can proceed inside.
What have you done?
Baron, I beg of you.
You have made an enemy of the Empire. You have brought vermin into my house.
I swear, I only wanted to protect us.
Silence! My honored guest, I bow my head in surrender, and I apologize for what's become of Cortez.
You had no idea what your wife's been up to.
It is the truth.
Our reinforcements have arrived. We will attack on your signal.
I knew nothing of my wife's conspiracy. She only confessed once the house defenses were down. But I will make amends. Now, Captain.
Your wife may be dead, but she was part of your house. Vector, tell the Killiks to attack.
Excellent. The nest is pleased. These rooms are perfect for egg chambers and membrosia pools. The family can become joiners.
Damn you, damn all of you! House Cortez will have revenge!
Protect the Baron and attack!
The hive is secure. The injured will be tended to and transformed. The dead will feed the larvae.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer family.
They will become valued members of the nest. Now, we'd like to bring this mission to a close. With your permission, we'll upload House Cortez's data to Imperial intelligence.
This is Keeper to Cipher 9. I'm receiving your transmission. Watchers are reviewing the Cortez logs now. It looks like you've wrapped up the terrorist financing situation. Congratulations.
How can you be certain so quickly?
Vector Hellas has been filing interim reports. The Cortez logs are our final confirmation. Preliminary analysis suggests the Eagle's terror network will run low on funds within weeks. The cells will look for alternative credit sources, of course. Let's not give them the chance to find any.
We'll keep them on the run. Anything else?
One other thing. I contacted Vector's superiors in the diplomatic service, and we've reached an agreement.
Sir?
Your requisition has been made permanent. You've been officially transferred to Imperial intelligence. Cipher 9, from now on, Vector Hellas will act as a covert assault agent under your command. Understood?
Understood. Welcome aboard, Vector.
We'll do our best to live up to expectations.
Once you're through on Alderaan, return to your ship for debriefing. Watcher 2 should have updates ready for you. In the meantime, instruct Vector as you see fit. I expect he'll require additional training.
I'm sure Vector and I will make a good team.
Good. Stay alert, Cipher. Keep her out.
The nest is pleased with the Empire and encourages this opportunity. We remain Dawn Herald, but we will travel at your side.
You've been with the Killiks a long time. Any anxiety about leaving the hive?
Perhaps. It has been our home since transformation. But we've always been an emissary. First from the Empire to the Killiks, and now from the Killiks to the galaxy. It should be a fascinating experience.
All right, we've got a problem. I told you about my ex-partners, how they decided to come after me? Well, that's fine. I can deal with that. What's not fine is when random freaking bounty hunters come after me because they smell a trend.
Who's coming after you, Kalia?
Guy's called the Menace. Never worked with him, never dated him, never heard of him. He's tracking me down. Apparently got a rep as a duelist. Probably wants to auction me to anyone with a grudge.
You went after Anspeciel to auction her off?
I nabbed her because it was personal. The money was just sense. Look, we need to do something. Get a little aggressive. You in?
What exactly are you planning?
Don't know yet. Still looking at my options. But we're gonna handle this. Just watch.
This is Watcher 2 to Cipher 9. Verify that you're receiving and prepare for takeoff. We've located the Eagle.
Tell me where.
We knew the Eagle had abandoned his old base, but until you neutralized that last cell, we didn't know the details. Now we do. The Eagle is on Hutter. Get there as soon as you can.
It all comes back to the beginning.
For you, at least. I have to go now, Cipher, but I'll brief you on site. Watcher 2 out.
Agent, we're finalizing our exit report for the diplomatic service. 34 pages of seating charts, ambassador profiles, and appendices. We'll transmit it to our superiors, and then we're yours full-time.
Any second thoughts about leaving diplomacy for intelligence?
We'll miss it, and we're sorry to hand over the unfinished work, but they'll do fine without me. You know, we used to advise first contact missions to new star systems. We met some unusual people, but we haven't had many new experiences since joining the Killiks. Time to broaden our horizons.
You said before the Killiks approved of your departure.
Yes. We will return someday with more to offer the nest than ever. In the meantime, we'll follow your lead.
Signal received. Transmission secure. All right, Cipher. Looks like this is the real thing. Ready to invade the Eagle's nest?
I didn't come to drink tea with my Hutt friends.
I'll cancel the invitation to Nemro. The Eagle and his men are holed up in an old refinery beneath the river. Sending coordinates now. You'll lead the forward assault, but military reinforcements will surround the base and follow you in. Primary objective is to capture or eliminate the Eagle himself.
Acknowledged and understood.
Your secondary objective is the Eradicators. The terrorists have begun launching their biomechanical weapons over Imperial worlds. Once the devices are ready, the terrorists can fire on cities and military bases from orbit.
We'll find a way to stop them.
I hope so. After the Dominator, everyone who died along with Darth Jadus, I don't want to go through that again. When you're in that base, don't let anyone escape. Don't let the Eagle murder again. Watcher 2 out.
Sir, we're cut off. Thurston and Gerald tried to get out, but the Imperials are all over the swamps.
They would be. Damnation. I promised Gerald she'd die with the detonator in one hand and a glass of brandy in the other. Seems she's made a liar of me.
I'm sorry, sir.
Don't be. You were everything I could have hoped for. Now carve us a path out. I'll follow soon. All right, I see you. The least I could do was send the boy off with hope. But have you seen the strength of the revolution? Cells on Nar Shaddaa, Tholet and Molvar, Alderaan, Balmorra. It's an inspiration, no matter how it ends.
Your inspiration is terrorism. Plain and simple.
Nothing is plain or simple about terrorism, about rebellion, or about covert intelligence. That's your field, I presume. You don't look military. Tell me something. How much of my story has the Empire uncovered? What have your methods found?
We found out all about your little orbital weapons. Your Eradicators.
Look behind me. That is an Eradicator. Technology developed on Droman Cass and Balmorra. They can be grown anywhere. 6 dozen are already in place. They'll wait to receive orders, at first. But eventually, without commands, they'll run rampant, fire blindly at cities from orbit.
Why would they do that?
Consider it a safeguard. Uncontrolled, the Eradicators won't hit our targets, but chaos and death still send a message. Now we're done. May whoever survives see a glorious future for the Empire. Oh, damnation. Even surrounded, even seeing you, I didn't think it would happen like this. But as I said, it makes no difference. The Eradicators will run rampant, the Empire will burn, and you have been betrayed.
Hold still. You need medical attention.
My patron, the one who showed me how to unite the cells, proposed the Eradicators, is one of your own people. A traitor in your empire has been helping us all along. Your civilization is so corrupt that it's destroying itself.
Why reveal this now? What are you trying to do?
Think of it as one last seed of discord, sown before Eradication Day. Goodbye now. Watch me burn.
He has a detonator. Get back.
Area is clear. Sir, are you all right?
Cypher 9, it's Watcher 3. Are you hurt? That was a nasty explosion.
Where were you a few minutes ago?
Sorry, once the attack started, we had to hold the perimeter and close slowly. Keeper sent me to assist with information retrieval, slicing the Eagle's computers. I'll also check out that device there. I think it's an Eradicator.
Move fast. The Eradicators may still be a threat.
Yes, sir. Cypher, I've got some preliminary findings. It's not good news. I overheard what the Eagle said. Looks like he was telling the truth. If no one gives the Eradicators new orders, they'll go mad. Fire randomly.
Any idea how to disable them?
Here's the good part. I figured out their control mechanism. Transmit the proper codes, and you can set the device's targets, disable them, anything. The Eagle stored half the control codes on his computers. Someone else must have the second half.
The Eagle mentioned a patron.
Yes, sir. The one inside the Empire. I'm not sure what that means. You should head to Drummond Cars. I don't think there's anything more you can do here, and Keeper wants you back at headquarters.
Hey, so I've got credits and a couple of free hours. You want to find a cantina, have a few drinks, start a few fights?
If you don't have work to do on board, you're not looking.
Come on, my guns are clean. What else is there? Have yourself a night off.
Just get back to the ship before we leave. And don't draw attention to yourself.
You know how to spoil the fun. Maybe Bug Boy will come along.
Cypher 9, come inside. This should be a triumphant moment. It's a tremendous achievement bringing down the Eagle. The crisis has only escalated. The Eradicators could begin firing at any moment.
What's our current status?
Watcher 2, your report.
The Moths have placed local forces on alert, and a search for the Eradicators is underway. Unfortunately, trends suggest we can only find one device every 5 hours. It'll be weeks before we destroy them all.
Disappointing, but not a surprise. Damage projections?
Estimates are 10 to 50 million deaths on each planet targeted. 40% military, 60% civilian.
Even at the low end, that's unacceptable.
Agreed. It sends the message that the Empire is vulnerable.
In order to deactivate the Eradicators en masse, we need the control codes. Half the codes were on the Eagle's computers. We can only surmise that the other half are with the Eagle's patron.
Yes, the patron. A man whom the Eagle claims is inside the Empire.
Any idea who it could be?
I have my doubt that this patron is really a highly placed Imperial. It seems unlikely such a person could escape our scrutiny. Nonetheless, we can't ignore the possibility of a traitor. That's why we're meeting privately. Only the people in this room know the full situation.
You sent Watcher 3 to Hatta. He knows too.
An oversight. Watcher 3 has been instructed not to speak to anyone. Finish the report, Watcher 2.
The Eagle had been sending periodic transmissions to someone in the Artus system. Artus is uninhabited, devoid of resources and off the major hyperlanes. Our patron could certainly hide there.
I want you to lead a mission to Artus. You're to find the Eagle's patron and obtain his half of the control codes. Watcher 2 will rendezvous with you there. She knows more about the Eradicators than anyone.
Are you all right with this?
I'll do what's necessary.
Your ships will be outfitted with cloaking devices. They'll only last one jump, but they'll get you into Artus unnoticed. After that, infiltrate whatever base the patron is using. Recover the Eradicator control codes and stop the threat. Watcher 2, you're dismissed.
If you want to talk before the mission, I'll be at my station.
There is one more thing. Darth Zorid heard you were returning to Drummond Cass. She wants to speak to you.
She's insane. You know that, right?
Yes, I know. I've done my best to shield intelligence from our new lord. You've been the unfortunate exception. Do what it takes to survive Zorid's attentions a little longer. Beyond that, the Dark Council won't let this continue forever.
I believe I understand.
When you're through, head to the Artus system. This is our only chance, Cypher. Fail, and we all pay a grievous cost.
Cypher, I'm glad you stopped by. I've been going over the mission parameters, studying the Eradicator control codes, scans of the Artus system. We're facing a mystery, and I hate mysteries.
You should get some rest before we leave.
I don't remember how. Times like this, I wonder if it took much more to push Watcher X over the edge. What about you? What's been going through your head since this countdown to Eradication Day started?
It's hard not to wonder where it all ends sometimes.
It doesn't. Not until your death. The crisis may change, but the job doesn't.
That's why it's important we stick together.
It's worth remembering. You've been a good partner, you know. A struggle sometimes, but you know what you're doing. I admire that.
I didn't think you admired anyone.
Just people who don't share my weaknesses. In any case, you should get ready. The Eradicators won't wait for either of us.
Let's get this done.
We don't have much of a choice, do we? Once you take off for the Artus system, I'll be on your tail. We'll meet out there.
Physical trauma includes electrical burns, lacerations, and retinal damage. Transfer to a Colto tank for long-term recovery is strongly recommended.
You suggest a Dark Council member hide in a vat? For healing?
I am programmed to dispense medical advice based on all relevant factors.
Get out! Have yourself disassembled, made into a probe and sent to the most desolate place in the Empire. Look, Agent, they hurt me, and then they laughed. How could they?
Your injuries, my lord. Is there anything I can do?
No, there isn't. After Viorianal broke, I called the Council to assembly. I demanded the Lords give me the respect I was due. Some were angry, mocked me. They tormented me and warned me not to overstep my bounds again.
The Dark Council did this.
They called me an arrogant child, unworthy of my position. It's all Jadis' fault. He was my master, but he never taught me what I needed to know. Now he's dead, and I'm not ready for his council seat.
You're his daughter. He must have taught you something.
Do you know what kind of creature Darth Jadis was? When I was young, he taught me how to sing. He said song was a blade to cut emotion from others. He had musicians tutor me for a year.
What happened after a year?
When I was ready, my father arranged a performance for me in Cass City. I sang for hours. I made the audience weep. I sang until my throat was raw and damaged. I sang until I could never sing again. Thus purged of the capacity for song, I saw my father smile. That's how he began my apprenticeship.
I don't know what to say.
It taught me a great deal. And it taught me to hate Darth Jadis. I know what's happening in Imperial intelligence. I know you're going on a mission, and that the Eagle wasn't the man you thought. Swear that you'll find whoever really killed my father. Swear that the man responsible will pay for forcing me into this wretched life.
I swear I will make him pay.
Yes. You will exact my revenge. and the world will be made right. I have gifts for you, Agent. Take them with my blessing and leave me to salt my wounds. And to gain strength from my hatred.
This place is stark. We smell no pheromones, feel no auras. We should be cautious.
Cypher, there's no one to welcome us. Seems our cloaking devices worked.
Good to see you too. How was the flight?
Uneventful, fortunately. I stayed in your wake. This starship is a modified Imperial dreadnought. Maximum crew complement of 5,000. It's also jamming long-range communications, so I can't check its registration or call for reinforcements.
Our traitor is hiding his tracks.
Nonetheless, top priority is finding the eradicated command codes before the weapons initiate a random firing pattern. This data spike contains our half of the codes. Once you obtain the other half, you should be able to control the eradicators from any computer.
Any idea where the codes might be stored?
If we're lucky, they'll be on the bridge computers, and you can deactivate the eradicators from there. If they're not, I don't know. I do have one other thing for you. A comlink implant. So long as you're wearing it, I can monitor your situation and speak to you privately.
Is this one-way communication, or can I reply?
Subvocally. Whisper to me and no one else will hear. While you search the interior, I'll try to slice the security systems. We're counting on you. Put an end to this.
It's a grand social experiment. There's probably 100 of us from across the Empire. All saved from the fire. Who knows how or why. For the most part, we're left to ourselves. Squabbling and fighting. Left to fear our own shadows. But we know the Master's out there. And I'm convinced there's a plan at work. Somebody wants to change us. Someone wants to control us.
It's been... I don't know how long it's been. I lose count of the days during the blackouts. The ones furthest along. They say our terror transforms us into the Master's image. Well, I'll tell the Master what's really happening. We're learning to fight back. Do you hear me, Master? We'll kill you for this. We'll kill you.
I was so happy when I got the invitation. Everything was going to change for me. Leave home for a year? Why has the Master picked me to survive when hundreds died? And now the rest of us, one by one. My mother was a slave, but I wasn't, because my father was an officer. I don't want to end up like her. Oh, please. Please, someone rescue us.
Something's wrong. Like rot within the hive. There is taint spreading through the Unity.
So, you've arrived at last.
Cypher, I know that voice.
I expected too little of you. You served me well on Hutter and on Dromund Kaas. I should have known you would serve me again.
Are you responsible for this?
Everything that has transpired has been at my command. My will is the destiny of lesser men. Once before, you were inoculated by the dark side. I will speak now as I spoke then. Accept the gift of your life, Agent, and we will discuss terror, the Empire, and the Sith.
You talk. I'll listen.
Be careful, Cypher. Please be careful. I'm trying to analyze the situation, but it'll take time, and if he has the command codes...
It was my desire that the Eagle unite the terror cells. It was my desire that my flagship be destroyed. I required a weapon that the Dark Council would overlook. The terrorists became my unknowing servants and carried out my plan.
You sanctioned the murder of Imperials. You faked your own assassination.
Only to achieve something greater. With my false death, I escaped the eyes of the Dark Council and of Imperial intelligence. After the Dominator, I came here, bringing with me those passengers worthy of elevation. I maneuvered my pieces into place.
What's the point of it all?
Keep him talking. Damn it. We can't fight him on our own. His power is second to the Emperor's.
I accomplished two things during my absence. First was the diminution of the Dark Council. Upon my death, my former enemies began warring amongst themselves, vying to claim my resources. Darth Jored's arrival escalated the chaos. My daughter is doomed, but she is an adequate distraction.
I can't call for reinforcements so long as that jamming field is active. but he'll annihilate anything less than an army.
You said your death accomplished two things. One was weakening the Council. What was the other?
Throwing the Sith into disorder was only the start. The rest of the Empire had to be prepared as well. That was the Eagle's purpose, to sow fright and hatred. All this while, my Eradicators were growing. Now they are ready, and my victory is close at hand.
I heard this part from the Eagle. Your orbital strike weapons.
The Eradicators will destroy the strongholds and apprentices of my enemies on the Council. So too will the Eradicators terrorize the Empire. Then I will return to the Council and lead the Empire into a new age, an epoch of terror.
The Emperor won't let you get that far.
The Emperor is distracted. I could resculpt the Dark Temple into a monument to my glory, and he would fail to object. Perhaps I shall do exactly that.
I see where this is going. He needs the Eradicators to make this work, but you have half the command codes.
Under my rule, all people will revel in fear and anger and degradation. These prizes will no longer be hoarded by Sith. But without both halves of the Eradicator codes, my weapons cannot be targeted. They will merely cause chaos.
Mere chaos isn't enough for you, is it?
No. The Eagle's death, your acquisition of his codes, has forced me to adapt. Without orders, the Eradicators will fire blindly. This serves neither of us. Enter your codes into the ship so the Eradicators can target my enemies. You will be rewarded. You will be my herald.
Last time you promised me something, you faked your own death.
I misunderstood your role. Consider what I can offer now. Power, wealth, a place in my vision. When I rule the Dark Council, Imperial intelligence will have a mandate uncompromised by Sith politics. Imagine a world where you could act with true authority and fear controls the populace. Together, we can create a stronger empire.
I need some time. It's a lot to take in.
Very well. But understand this. If you refuse, you will die at my hand. The Eradicators will still reap untold destruction. Your sacrifice would mean nothing. I can be merciful. Take the time to consider your choice. Then we can begin the true work.
Yes, my lord.
Think on my words, Agent, and embrace my will.
All right, stay focused and don't look at Jadis. How are you holding up? Can we put together a plan?
I know what I'm going to do. It wasn't a hard choice.
Before you make any decisions, please, hear me out. We need to re-examine our priorities. We came here to stop the Eradicators, but we weren't prepared for reality. Our plan now has to focus on neutralizing Darth Jadis. Everything else is peripheral.
There's still an imminent attack to worry about.
I'm sorry, Cypher. The numbers aren't in our favor. You can deactivate the Eradicators right now. Just combine the codes in the bridge computers. But to keep Jadis from reactivating them, you'd have to blow up the ship's reactor. It's a suicide run, and chances are Jadis will escape.
You have another suggestion?
We trick Jadis. We give him the codes and let him launch his attack. Once the Eradicators start their bombardment, you slip off the bridge and take the ship apart. You sabotage the jamming field, hyperdrive, and shields. Then I can call in reinforcements. The military, the Dark Council, forcing Jadis to surrender. The Eradicators are deactivated as soon as feasible.
How many people, how many worlds are sacrificed?
Let's be clear. If we give Jadis the command codes, then yes, he'll murder thousands before we stop him. But the human cost is acceptable. The only alternative is to let Jadis escape and do worse down the line.
The human cost isn't acceptable to me.
I can't tell you what to do, Cypher. If you disable the Eradicators here and now, I'll help you. We'll destroy this ship, save a lot of people, in the short term. But my advice is this. Use the codes to let Jadis launch his attack. Sacrifice lives and seize this chance. We can end his threat forever. The Eradicators are offline. Repeat, the Eradicators are offline. Let's hope this works.
I expected more of you. Disabling the Eradicators will not stop me. You will die unmourned, and I will reactivate the devices and begin my assault.
You won't do anything if this place is dust.
He'll kill you, Cypher.
You can't fight Jadis, but you might slow him down. This ship can generate internal ray shielding.
Now, kneel before your doom.
If you can reroute the power, we can trap him in a force field, then get to the reactor core and destroy this ship. Ship's power level's becoming unstable. You did it, Cypher. This whole place is about to explode.
Give me an update. The terror attack.
Never began. The deactivation worked, and once the ship is destroyed, the Eradicators cease to be a threat. As for Jadis, he's out of the force field and on his way to a shuttle. No way to catch him. But he won't recover from his setback anytime soon.
Forget Jadis. We'll deal with him another day.
Acknowledged. I'm taking off, but I'll wait in system as long as I can. You need to get out before the reactor detonates. Good luck. I was afraid you wouldn't make it, Cypher. Good to see you alive. The self-destruct sequence is complete. Jadis' ship has been reduced to cinders in Artis V's gravity well, and the Eradicator command codes went with it.
Any way to know what he'll do next?
No. I didn't even get a course projection when his shuttle jumped to hyperspace. I'm sending a message to Keeper. These events will cause complications among the Sith, but I expect the Dark Council will sort matters quietly. They'll keep Jadis on the run, and we stopped a massacre.
Will the Sith be angry we let Jadis escape?
We might be called to account for ourselves, or it could be Keeper's burden. But the call was yours, and I'm glad no one had to die.
The song of the universe favors our actions. The nest, our empire, is stronger for it.
I'm glad you are here to help.
So are we. We've often been uncertain about our place in intelligence, but not right now.
The bug boy has a point. He didn't do bad. I'd have gutted the Sith, though.
If we run into Jadis again, I'll see what I can do.
I'll hold you to it.
I'll see you at headquarters, Cypher. Enjoy the downtime while it lasts. There'll be debriefings, cleanup, and sooner than you think, Keeper will have your next assignment.
See you back at home, Watcher 2.
Mission accomplished. Watcher 2 out.